This is my Helinox chair 2, and in this video we'll be testing for its ease of setup, pack away, seat dimensions, storage, longevity, portability, and more. Before we set this chair up, here's what we get in the box: the fabric of the chair, the poles, and the carry bag. Now we'll start with the poles. The shock cording is very intuitive, so setting up all the poles is very easy. When you're done, this is what it should look like. You should have the 4 leg poles on the ground. These 2 short poles are for the front of the chair, and the longer poles are for the back of the chair. Next, grab the chair fabric, locate the backrest, which has a rigid top, and this end is to go onto the 2 long poles. There are these 2 long pole pockets at the back for securing onto the poles. Next, just secure the bottom of the chair to the short poles at the front, and that's your chair fully set up. One tip here: if your chair is new, it'll be quite hard to get the last corner secured, so lay the chair on its back to do so. It's much easier this way. Here's a full time lapse of the entire setup. I timed myself and it took me about 45 seconds. As for the pack away, here's how to do it. First, remove the chair fabric and lay it on the ground. Then fold it in half and fold in the edges. Next, break down all the poles and place it on top of the fabric. Roll everything up nice and tight before putting everything back into the carry bag. This is another full time lapse, this time of the pack away. I timed myself again, and this took about 50 seconds, including getting it back into the bag. As for the unfolded dimensions, here's what I measured. The longest width from one bottom corner to the other bottom corner comes in at about 21 inches. The longest length from the back of the chair to the front of the seat comes in at about 25¼ inch. And the total height from the ground to the top of the chair comes in at 33.3 inches. This is quite accurate to the marketed assembled specs given by Helinox. Now, if you want more detailed seat measurements, here's everything to know, starting with the seat size. Total seat width comes in at about 21 inches. Seat depth from the back to the front of the seat is 11 inches. The seat is definitely not big at all, and it cuts off midway through my thighs, but overall it was relatively comfortable. Now, for the seat height of this chair, I first measured it from the front of the seat with no one sitting on it, and that came in at about 13 inches. Next, I took the height from the ground to the bottom of the seat, and that came in at 3 inches less, around 10 inches. Then I sat down on the chair, and for this final seat height, that came in at just 7½ inches. You'll see a gentle slope from the front of the seat to the bottom right here. For the backrest, I first measured the height from where the seat ends to the top of the chair, and that came in at about 27¾ inch for me. As for the backrest width, that came in at about 15 inches at the top. This tall backrest height is enough to cover all the way past the top of my head, providing decent head support. Lastly, the angle of recline from the side taken with a digital protractor is about 28 degrees, so it's quite reclined. For breathability, this chair comes with 2 breathing slits around the seat area. Each of these slits measures about 6¼ inch by 2½ inches. The new version of this chair has a lot more mesh than mine, and here's what it looks like. It looks a lot like the Helinox Sunset that I have now, and for this Helinox Sunset, I've calculated the amount of mesh on this chair to be about 31%, and sitting on it never felt too hot even in the summer. As for pockets, there are 2 on this chair, 1 on each side. Each of them measures about 7.5 inches in length and 5.5 inches in width, and it can fit quite a lot of personal items. If the newer model is similar to the Helinox Sunset, these should come with slightly bigger pockets of 11 inches and 7 inches in length, and it can fit lots of stuff as well. As for materials, the fabric of the chair is made of 600D polyester. Mine doesn't have any mesh, but if yours does, that should be a mix of polyester and nylon monomesh. As for the poles, you're made of green anodized DAC aluminum alloy. The center bar pole thickness comes in at about 0.67 inches thick, while the rest of the poles are just like about half an inch thick. The hubs that connect all the poles are also DAC proprietary. And even the zippers on this bag are top of the line YKK. As for stability, the feet size aren't very big. These are your standard lightweight chair type of feet. But the chair structure is quite stable, so I never had any issues with stability, and rocking on it gives only a little bit of wiggle. For overall longevity, I've had this chair for about 5 years now, and so far the shock cording is still surprisingly robust, though of course it will not be like before where the poles were able to clip together super easily. However, I think Helinox uses a waterproof coating at the back of this chair, and that is starting to degrade and get a little bit sticky, and the little white bits here are the coating actually flaking off. If you're wondering, this chair comes in at a 5-year warranty, which I think is about the lifespan of the product. For portability, the pack size dimensions come in at about 17 3/4 inches in length by 6.5 inches in width and 4.5 inches in height. This is a little bit bigger than the marketed pack size. And here's what it looks like beside a 1-liter Nalgene bottle and a 2-person Coleman tin. The chair too is about half the volume of the tin. For ease of carry, there's a handle on either side of the bag. And mine also comes with a daisy chain and included carabiner. The weight of the chair itself comes in at 2.4 pounds. The carry bag weighs 0.4 pounds or 6.07 ounces to be exact, making a total weight about 2.8 pounds. This is slightly heavier than marketed. Now for pros, since I've had the chance to use this chair too over the past 5 years, I can safely say that longevity is great and 5 years gave me great value for money. Compared to other similar lightweight chairs that I've tested, it's definitely one of the longest lasting for sure. My Big Angus chair had the same peeling, flaking, waterproof coating problem, and this happened about 3 years in, instead of 5 years in like the Helinox, and the flaking was actually worse than the Helinox, as you can see in this clip on screen right now. And for my REI Camp Dreamer, I sat in it for 3 days, and the pole poked a hole through the chair. I think this is a manufacturing defect, but still, QC probably isn't as good as the other two brands here. The next pro is that Helinox chairs tend to be made of the highest quality materials. For the fabric of the chairs, Big Angus comes in at the top with a super high quality aerobic nylon and polyester ripstop blend. But for the poles, Helinox is definitely at the top with the green anodized DAC aluminum poles, which is a grade higher than even aircraft aluminum, not to mention regular aluminum. And even the pole hubs are DAC proprietary resin hubs, which none of the other brands have as well. On top of that, the setup and packaway is actually the most intuitive, and here's the details of all the chairs in seconds. The Helinox chairs are definitely much better than the other two, and if you're wondering why the chair 2 is easier to pack away than the Helinox Sunset, it's because it's quite a bit smaller than the Sunset as well. That actually brings us to the next pro of this chair. It's definitely the most portable and most lightweight high-back camp chair that I've got. Not only is the weight the lightest of all the chairs, it also has the smallest pack volume as well. If this video has been helpful so far, please help me hit that like button. It really helps me out. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. Now, why is the Chair 2 the most portable? Here's where we get into the cons, and one of the reasons is because it's overall a much smaller chair. Let's look at the seat details here, and you'll find that the seat size is the smallest on the list by far. Not only is the seat width the smallest of all the chairs, the seat depth is also the shortest. And it's not just the seat size, the seat height is also the lowest across all the chairs. So if you have trouble getting out of low seats, this definitely isn't a chair for you. Personally, I'd only get the Chair 2 over the rest if you're looking for a very comfortable chair that gives you neck and head support, but at the same time you need it to be as lightweight as possible. Otherwise, I'd go with the Helinox Sunset. It's not as lightweight, it weighs about 10 ounces more, but I love the trade-off of having a bigger seat and a much taller seat height. If you want to check out other options before making your decision, I bought and tested over 20 different camp chairs in this video on screen, so do check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in that one.